Is Andrews coming up? Is he?
Table.
He's still in the toilet. He's still crying in there. It wasn't Andrews. He's like never going to be the guy who. All right, here he comes. Okay, this is unusual setup. Maybe we can mix it up a little bit.
Sit in the middle. I like it.
Okay, pressure's on. I'd like to talk about burnout for a bit. Because Mick, I think you touched on it today, right, at various points. And you mentioned you wanted to speak about it. And I've been burnt out in marketing more than once. Maybe we can all touch on one moment where we felt like we were getting close to the burnout point, and then what maybe brought us back from the brink. Mick, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I can go first. Yeah, I mean, I probably shoot myself in the foot because I think that with a lot of marketing success, 60-70% of it is to keep going. To come back the next day with fresh energy, fresh approach, and I think 30% of it is delivery tactics. But I really think a big part of it is this grit of just keep going and so on. And yeah, like I said, like I've definitely been at the stage where I've had sleepless nights about webinar signups, which is insane. In the big scheme of things, it's not moving the dial as much as you think, but I think some of the speakers meant, and this word is becoming more popular now, which is vanity metrics. Yeah? We get caught up in the metrics of like, am I doing a good job? Am I doing a good job? And the big sign, I think I've probably been on this journey now for probably a year of just keep going, even if the analytics are not showing you that it's doing. Believe that you can do it. Now, I think that we probably leave some money on the table in some areas because of that approach, but overall, I think as a business, we are probably better off for just taking steps forward.
Yeah. Okay, burnout, when we've had it, how we got through it, Guy?
Very similar experience. So, one of my the authors that I like to read most, Nassim Taleb, has this concept of anti-fragility. So, it's basically becoming more anti-fragile by taking experiences that are negative and learning from them and getting through them with, like you said, grit, instead of being so anxious about, okay, everything has to work. So yeah, just doing a lot of things, and even if it doesn't work, you just keep going. And if you fail, even if you lose your job, you keep going. So you become anti-fragile by just doing a lot of things, and you don't just I used to have all the time anxiety about, is it going to work? Is it going to work? And just planning too much, over-planning instead of just doing more. Mm-hmm. And over time, in our company and our team, we're doing more and planning a bit less. Planning is still very important, of course, but you don't want to over-plan, because when you over-plan, you get all that anxiety and you don't become anti-fragile. You don't develop that grit.
But by the way, Guy, I'm actually considering kidnapping you and taking you to my business from my Facebook. The thoughts were running through my mind. Okay, let's maybe hear from you as well then, Andrews, about burnout. Maybe like a point in your career thinking throwing the towel in even. Dude, you must have handled rejection so often. Just, like, you're just unbeatable now.
Yeah, burnout for me, because I think sales is really similar. Consistency is the key, right? Like if you make good dials and good meetings 1 week and then fall off an earth, nothing will happen. So, I mean, my approach is really straightforward. Like it's most important thing to avoid burnout is schedule. So, there needs to be enough time to make the dials, but there also needs to be enough time to ride motorcycles, have time with your girls. But I also think when you can't fit all of it into the schedule, the pain of that forces you to build better systems, delegate, automate, and choosing what's important, saying no to stuff. So for me, it's really straightforward. Like I look at everything as what can I fit into my week and what doesn't fit into my week.
Yep. Now remember, you can still send us questions, and we'll be throwing out the Kostka, Radosti in a little bit, be coming out and finding you as well. I have this strong temptation to come up and massage your shoulders, Andrews. Has anyone ever done that to you before? Said that to you before?
Rarely, but yes.
Oh, okay. So I thought it might be the first. I thought it might be a bit novelty factor. Okay, let's maybe talk about a couple of ideas that we wanted to put in, but we didn't find the time, because there's usually one thing left on the cutting room floor that we wanted to add if we'd had like an extra 1 minute. Who wants to take that?
I mean, like I said, I love, so my style of presentation is always kind of like hopefully build up a little bit of justification of my work and then show the examples. And like I'm very happy because we've got another 28, 29 examples of experiments. And probably the things I missed showing you all were the experiments that failed. You know, we did a lot of campaigns that really fell on their face, and you had to kind of keep going. And I think that we obviously learn, and that it's even coming back to the previous point of the fact that also as marketers, we all think every company is doing fantastic because on LinkedIn that's all everyone ever says. Everything's great. Here's my conversions. But I would have only loved to show some of the campaigns and the strategies or the projects that failed. But there are plenty of them, and I promise I will share more of them in the future because there's bound to be more. And we even have a kind of a strategy at Traffic that if we're not failing, we're probably not being adventurous enough. So it's not a good sign when we don't fail for a long period of time.
Do you have a way of making sure that there's not the backstabbing going, oh, Mick tried something, it didn't work out, his ideas are rubbish? Because it's quite easy to fall into that negative mindset.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just about, like, the one thing that we are big on at Trafford is obviously kind of also transparency. So everyone kind of knows the goal. It's not, one of the things I used to hate in my early days was sales versus marketing. I always hate that. Like, we talked about this before, you know, when the targets are down, sales are complaining about the leads and marketing is complaining about the conversion. Yeah, and one of the things I've experienced that. It's a horrible thing to experience, but it happens probably still to this day. So I think one of the things as well is having that group success, that group failure, and talking about it. Like one of the things that, like I love, like Syed mentioned Slack. We have Slack at Traffic, and we have a channel called Fuck Ups where we talk about things that didn't work out, and just to create that atmosphere of it's okay to fail. I think that's really, really important. So
awesome.
I was really happy to see the title of your presentation that it was following me, because if I had another 18 minutes, I would basically do your presentation. Because, okay, so performance marketing is not as effective when you start doing incrementality testing. So what is effective? What you learn is basically classic brand building. I mean, you can't really, like, brands, especially e-commerce companies, because e-commerce companies typically are, they're driven by digital marketers, and they're very focused on architecture and technology and not creative things. And they plateau because when you look at classic advertising studies, what works is the more creative you are, the more effective things are. And you, at some point, you tap into all the demand that there is, and you need to start generating new demand. How the hell do you generate new demand for a product? You have to do it through creative means, and that's not going to be search ads, because search ads cannot be creative. They're just text. You have to do videos. You have to do content. So if we look at our organization now versus like 6 years ago, a lot more content, a lot more investment in creative, and now we also have a really nice kind of moment in marketing where it's really easy to make creative. With all these AI tools, like. It used to be really hard and expensive, and you had to hire graphic designers and pay them a lot of money to make beautiful creative. You don't necessarily anymore. I'm able to take guys who are like performance marketers and give them tools to make creative things for Facebook that they couldn't before, and now they are creating more interesting ads, and they're not just trying to like show a coupon, buy today, 30% off, ends tomorrow. Now they're doing creative things, and they couldn't before because they didn't have they had to have somebody creative supporting them. Now you can have performance marketers basically have access to creative tools for free.
What's cool about that as well is that what's creative changes. Postcards are back in because no one's getting snail mail anymore, yeah? In the same way that, coupons, at one point we were overloaded with every kind of coupon, Groupon website, and now they disappeared. It might be the perfect time. It's also about not getting stuck in that, that doesn't work. No, you have to remember that didn't work 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and having the energy to revisit it, I think, is really exciting as well. Opens some doors.
Yeah, man, that's an amazing insight. Andres, anything that you missed out that you would like to put back in, or could have put in?
I mean, my hardest part was what to put in, right? I mean, we could have gone through the whole sales cycle and spent hours and hours. In the end, I ended up deciding, because it's marketing, I see marketing demand for salespeople in two situations: generating leads and providing the final social proof. So I decided let's talk about the front end. But I mean, we could have talked about there was a 18 minutes, and I was like, what can I put in and what should I leave out? A truckload left out.
Yeah. I tell you what I'm interested in, guys. The idea of attachment. So the more you get attached towards an outcome, I need this test to work, man. I need this project. I've got to show everybody else that it was worth hiring Mick Griffin or something like that, or I've got to make sure the client's happy with the deal. The less likely it is the situation actually happens. Have you ever come across that phenomenon?
I steal this from my days of being in sales, and I tell my sales reps to this day, you think you're hiding your anxiety, but I guarantee that your customer, your leads are feeling it in some way. You can see in the marketing campaigns the ones that are desperate versus the ones, like I said, I still have this fundamental thing that if me and my team are having fun doing something, it will translate through. It will translate through the medium. So I think, and this is why I said, like, sometimes we've got to be really good at switching off, taking a day off, refreshing, because I truly believe that the pressure of results, consumers have a great bullshit reader. They can feel it when, that we love it. If you buy today, I can give you 10% off. What a shit pitch that is. But we have it to this day. And what that is that's the salesperson translating that I've got a target and I've got a quota and it's near the end of the month and I want to condense the timeline. And our leads say, no, thank you, because we now feel more empowered, right? And a lot of the presentations talked about it today as well, about that. You can't rush, you can't squeeze. You can try to be part of it, but you can't. So I definitely think it plays an impact.
It's amazing, right? It's sales, it's marketing, but it's also pitching, it's B2B and B2C. Guy, have you felt that phenomenon before? This idea of fixing on an outcome, being attached to it?
Yeah, I mean, this is basically, if you're attached to an outcome, you're going to be driven too much by fear instead of being driven by the potential opportunity. One of the things that I learned recently we have a new CEO. He's got a background in consumer packaged goods. He worked in major corporations, billions of sales. He came to iCanvas recently, and he said to me, "Look, I'm here. I'm hired by the owners to drive new results, and I rather get fired doing a bunch of things that didn't work than get fired because we didn't do a bunch of things." So sort of this mentality of take action, focus on opportunity, and don't be driven by fear. Otherwise, you're going to be kind of stuck. And you also, when you're driven by fear, you're also not going to be as good as of a strategist. You're going to be focused too much on the downside versus the upside. It's not this like fluff positivity thinking. It's just really you are not as good of a thinker when you're too biased towards the fear versus the opportunity.
It's the irony of the emotion is it makes the thing you're afraid about more likely, not less, right? Again, it's easy to say, but kind of hard to do in practice when someone's breathing down your neck. You actually have your sales targets, which they're focused on. Andres, you must have felt this like attachment thing a million
100%.
times.
I think it's so crucial. My balance is, but I think it's not just sales and marketing, like it's in everywhere in life. Like if you want it too badly, you're going to tighten up and you're going to mess it up. But at the same time, if you don't care at all, that's even worse, right? And finding that balance there where, like I always say, do your best, let God or universe or whatever the heck you believe in take care of the rest. And then another thing is obviously putting your heart on service, right? If you're there to serve your clients, sometimes you serve them with a contract and a product, sometimes you serve them with a smile. Both ways, but I think finding that balance is so important in business, in relationships, in riding motorcycles, anything basically, right? If you want it too badly, you're going to tighten up and you're going to mess it up. But if you don't want it at all or you don't care, then you're definitely going to mess it up. So finding that spot is the key.
It's all about love today, isn't it? I love marketing at the end of the day. Let's get this kosteczek of radości. Oh, there it is. I didn't even realize it thrown over. Guys, we've only got 11 minutes left, and you have an opportunity to speak to these fantastic brains and hear from them. Who would like to answer a question? We've got a handsome chap in the front, Mr. Zach, there. Let's make some noise for the person who put his hand up first. Ho!
Okay, so my question is for Guy. So many businesses, especially marketing agencies, are investing in education and training for organic growth. Why are they not spending more time investing in training on everything that you just explained today as it relates to ads? Why are they not training their companies more on how to run ads?
Sure, because the incentives are not there for them. I mean, you hire an agency, and their incentive is to, usually are billing you by % of spend or something. So you give them attribution-based goals like return on ad spend or CPA, and their incentive is to maximize those things. If they run incrementality studies and they discover that half the stuff they do doesn't work, you're going to be spending less. They're not going to be making as much money. So incentives are not necessarily aligned. So look, I'm not saying agencies are all evil. I work with agencies. I work with agencies. I had a great relationship with agencies and better relationship with agencies. I work with paid social, SEM. I am myself doing consulting. You need to find partners who have that nuanced understanding of actual, driving actual results, and like not just looking at analytics and like really looking at the business and saying, okay, all the stuff we did, do we have more money in the bank account after all this stuff? Like, let's bring the finance people in the room and let's make calculations about contribution margins and understand not just ROAS and CPCs and CTRs, but like, is there more dollars in the bank account? And you need more people from the organization, like the CFO, to be involved, and you need to align all these stakeholders together on, okay, what matters to the business and how you, the agency, are going to contribute to those results, and not just what they're used to doing, which is, okay, here's the best ROAS we can give you, or here's the best amount of extra leads, etc. Maybe
Mick, you want to reflect on that as well? I'm sure you've seen the agencies come and go.
No, no, I'm joking. No, I think it's. I've had some great conversations about agencies today with some of the other speakers as well, and I think it's a really fine balance between. Do you educate your client to such a level that they don't need you anymore? That's a big challenge, right? Because like you said, it might be counterproductive. But as I said, like I steal the Nike stuff a lot, and it's like, if we do the right thing, revenue will follow. So even if we ended up doing such a good job for a client that they didn't need us anymore, what's the chances that client's going to recommend us to 5 new clients, 10 new clients? But it's a balance, yeah. I mean, I haven't had the pleasure of working in an agency, but I think it's a hard balance to keep your secret sauce, to make yourself as valuable as possible, while how much do we pass this knowledge on to the customer?
I thought it was all about getting an intern to do like 3 or 4 clients at once. That's why my agency's never worked. Right, who wants to ask a question up here? You guys on the left at the top, you've been a little bit quiet. A couple of you look like you've almost fallen asleep, but that can't be right. I need to wake you up. Who wants to take the Kostek Radości and be maybe one of the final question askers? Oh, there's fingers pointing over here. Oh, fantastic. Just have to be on the other side of the room. All right, let's make some noise for the person over here on the left. Yes, yes. Honorary position with the Kostek Radości. I'm going to call it the Kostek Miłości nawet. So it's going to be the love box from now on. There we go, buddy.
Thank you very much. I'm sure this question was brought up today, but let's give it a try. Which one do you prefer more, paid ads or organic search?
I don't like this binary. So again, organic search, you can rank for terms that are less incremental and more incremental, right? So again, I can rank for high intent keywords. So for example, in our company, right, we sell art. So high intent keyword for us would be somebody who searches the keyword canvas art. A lot of people who search the keyword canvas art are going to find us in lots of different ways other than just SEO, because we have market share. We're out there. We're in the market. We're going to show up in various other places. So it's not going to be 100% incremental. But if we rank for something like how to decorate your living room, something a bit more high funnel, is going to be much more incremental, because if somebody reads an article from our blog about like how to decorate, they're not likely to run into like competitors and other people or us in general, like without that piece of content. So ranking for high funnel keywords in organic with content is more incremental than ranking for high intent keywords with product pages and list pages. So again, it's about like looking across all those keywords and where are they in the funnel. So I don't have. I don't think SEO is better. I mean, obviously, the SEO is nice because it's free, but it's also much harder, and you're constantly fighting against Google's opaque algorithm changes that you spend 10 years doing something that is best practice, and you rank well, and suddenly boom. Like I have SEO industry SEO friends who, like for example, recently a lot of sites got hit by something called helpful content update. So sites with like millions of views a month, overnight, Google makes an update and they lose everything. So there's a little bit of more risk in SEO that you can just like lose everything overnight that isn't really there in paid as much. But again, I don't like this binary, but it's a good question. But I would think less about SEO versus PPC and more, okay, when I measure the incremental effect of getting a click from ranking, the effort to rank for this keyword, or the cost to spend on ranking for this keyword, what will be the result for the business in terms of, again, real results, like dollars in the bank account and not what we see in analytics.
Gentleman with my love cube, you're over there, yeah? Where have you gone? Where is the love cube guy? He's over there. I'm interested, why did you ask the question? Or what do you think of the answer?
I don't know. I was just curious. I mean, we have also our marketing campaigns, and we're thinking about diversing, like between the paid and the organic search. Mostly, we're working also with because we're a digital agency. We're working with the affiliate marketing companies, and they ask always the same question: about is it the time to go paid campaigns, or maybe invest more into the organic search? Or like there's always this question, and I was curious what's the opinion on that from your side?
Look at the gaps. I mean, if you're already ranking for the terms, you know that your paid campaigns are not going to be as incremental because you're already ranking. But if you're not ranking at all, then the paid campaigns are going to be purely incremental, so they're probably worth doing. If you're already ranking, but it's a competitive keyword with a lot of strong competition, it still might be worth advertising because there's a lot of competition. So the incrementality might not be as high as the keywords you're not ranking at all for, because there's no way to find you. But maybe it's like in the middle, but it's still worth it. So it's really understanding trade-offs. And you only understand those trade-offs by testing and experimenting and using things like these types of incrementality tests, or just observational methods like what happens if we stop doing this, or what happens if we start doing it, and not looking at, again, ROAS and CPA and blah, 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 but like, let's look at what happens in like our margins for the business, like dollars in the bank account. Like, we start spending a lot of money on campaigns in channel X, what happens to the business? Like, get the finance people in the room, make sure they're telling you what's happening with the business while you're doing these things, and not like 10 months later, you get a report from finance that actually, like, you were losing money last quarter, and you realize that it's because you were spending a bunch of money on stuff that doesn't work.
Just like one, like we had a prime example of this at Traffic, which is we created job description templates. So we created a template for 80 different job titles. So marketing manager, head of sales, because recruiters didn't really know what to put in those job descriptions to make them attractive. And then suddenly we started to get lots of spike from organic traffic. And it turned out that our marketing manager, we were ranking number 3 in Poland for the term marketing manager. And it was like high fives all around, great, that was great. And you know how much money we made from it? 0, because it turned out that most of it was candidates searching marketing manager looking for the job, not recruiters looking for the job description. So it also, again, depends on what are you really looking to achieve from doing performance, and like I really love that you keep saying like where in the funnel it falls, because you can't just it's not enough just to get the traffic or just to get the entrances sometimes.
Guys, I have a worrying feeling that we've had a marketing conference today and I haven't heard the words TikTok used, which has been a bit of a game changer for most of the other platforms. Can you guys talk a little bit about TikTok's influence, or am I just a little bit behind the times?
Unfortunately for us, the average age of our consumer is 45. So they're not likely to be on TikTok. I would love to spend money on TikTok because, again, I think TikTok is a place where you can be creative. And I'll give you a nice case study. Like, there's a company in Poland called Displayed. They produce art on metal, but they sell it to gamers. Their target audience is like 20 to 30-year-old. And if you look at where they're getting most of their traffic, it's video. So it's TikTok and YouTube, and it's a lot of content marketing. And these guys started a couple years after we started, and they are now bigger than us and the two major players in our industry in the US and in Europe. And they're doing it all through like YouTube and TikTok and video, because their target audience engages highly because they're gamers with video. So a great example of a company who grew really fast, not with performance marketing, but with branding and creative and content, but they had the right target audience.
All right, well, that brings us to the end of our panel discussion, man. We can do some TikTok dances later. I could do it there. Whilst I'm massaging Andres' shoulders. Let's have a big round of applause for our panel discussion. That was fantastic. Oh, off you go, off you go. Right, so we've got some super cool things to do now, as you probably know, because you're all ILM, I Love Marketing experts and veterans. First of all, we're going to announce the winners for the Grywalizacja uczestników, so for the gamification of the participants here. Thank you so much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call the 5 names of the people who've done the best job today of winning all of the prizes. And what you need to do is go over to the stoisko sprawnego marketingu, and that's where you're going to pick up your fantastic prizes, like free tickets to ILM next year, I Love Marketing, all sorts of other goodies, as we say in English. So the following people, if you're still here, then make sure you go over there. Samuel Wrona, Faustyna Szymanek, Agnieszka Janikowska, Michalina Abramowicz, Aleksandra Bielska-Domanska. You just won some lucky prizes! Oh, woohoo! Stick around though, because you know what's about to happen, which is finally we get to find out which of today's amazing presenters, and they were all super freaking awesome, gets to win the top prizes. So I'm going to count from place 7, there were 12 speakers overall, all the way up to 1. The first speakers are going to be getting some mula, some sponduliks, some kapusta, some cabbage, and then as we get closer and closer, they're not only getting money, but they're also getting some of these fantastic statuettes. So, in 7th place, he's as handsome as he is elegant. His name is Mr. Jack Vincent. Come up on stage, sir. Yes, yes. I should probably have a microphone for this as well, I guess. Hang on a second. Maciej Kautz would do this so much better than me. Congratulations, Jack.
Thank you very much.
€2,000, bro. What are you going to spend it on?
Oh, I don't know. A trip to Poland, maybe.
You're already here.
Yeah, next one.
You're not allowed to say sex, drugs, and rock and roll. That's not the right decade for it, Jack.
No? Yeah, I thought that was timeless.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Jack. So, congratulations. Stay on the stage.
I will.
Stay on the stage.
Thank you very much.
I'm getting a little bit amateur. Stay on the stage. Yeah. Yeah, okay, good. I don't know what I'm doing, do I? Okay, first time for everything. All right, in 6th place, he was really inspiring today and almost brought me to tears, not for the first time. He's winning also a Magnifico prize. It is Christian A. Dumay. Monsieur Dumay. Yes, 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 big I Love Marketing round of applause for Christian. Amazing story. And literally everybody check their websites to see all of those mistakes. Christian, can you reveal what you might spend some of this money on?
Books, probably, knowing me. But yeah.
All right. Well, I think you deserve it, man, because that was really awesome. It's just a super solid presentation.
Thank you very much.
Now we're coming into a 5th place. 5th place is also some big cabbage, some big kapusta. It is going to be, in 5th place, Lohi Omo Ezomo. Where are you, Lohi? You were somewhere at the back. There you are, still hiding at the back. You won. You won a big prize. Come on down. Man, I'm going to be thinking about that buyer journey for a while, man. That just blew my mind. You got a little bit of time to think about what you're going to spend the money on. Guess sex, drugs, and rock and roll is it could be the Priory now. It's the Priory in re-education. Up comes Lohi. Elegant and stylish. Yes, yes, yes. Didn't she do well? Amazing. Congratulations. Have you ever held a big check before?
No, this will be my first.
Because they went out of fashion for a while and now they're back in thanks to I Love Marketing.
Yeah.
Okay, can you reveal what you might spend this money on?
I'm not sure yet. Maybe a new pair of shoes.
Oh, yeah. It's my, yeah. Yeah, that's a very, very good idea, darling. I feel like I'm talking to my wife because that's what I'd say. It's like, yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, so come over here and join our fantastic winners. All right, in fourth place, we're getting closer and closer to the statues. So you can imagine if you're one of those speakers who was crying to me earlier, you're getting super excited now. In fourth place, he set the room on fire, literally. It's Robert Craven! Robert! Otherwise known as Sherlock Holmes. Detective Craven. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Nobody seems to know what they're going to spend the money on, but maybe Robert will.
A guitar.
He's going to do that thing. Very good. Come over there and join our... Now, the pressure is on. Because the next person is going to be winning the bronze statuetka, which is held by Angelica, my good friend here, and also picking up a Magnifico check for 3,000 euros. That's right, because the third place goes to Mr. Zach Derris. Yes, yes. You deserve it, bro. You deserve it. Zach's currently... that's what they say. He's building a home in Piaseczno, so he... Oh!
Guys, it's because of you, so thank you.
Sorry.
It's going to be reinvested in the business to make more free books and free guides and free content that I can give back out to people. So I'm stunned. This is not right, but thank you. Wow.
That's the results I got. Mwah, mwah, mwah. There you go. Some love over there. You can come and join our fantastic winners. Now we're in second place. I can't do this any longer. The stress is too high. Winning ever more money, but also winning the silver statuetka. It is. He had the toughest job in the house. It's Mr. Mick Griffin. Yes. 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 It's sending out all those books.
The long adverts helped me. Oh, wow. Thank you so much.
Did you run some kind of campaign to win this?
Yeah, I think so. I did a lot of groundwork in advance, and I've got people who didn't even come voting for me. No, I'm joking. Thank you so much. It's amazing.
He's hacked the system, ladies and gentlemen. He deserved it. That was freaking awesome. I've got a love heart for you, Mick.
Oh, wow.
There you go, buddy.
Thank you very much.
There you go. Hold it and wear it. Come over and join our fantastic winners. There's even smoke pumping out of here because now we got number one place. Oops. Okay. You can feel the tension. Feel the stress. This has been a historic day in the history of I Love Marketing. I Love Marketing International for the first time, but definitely not for the last. Because the winner showed up, turned up, not once, but twice. He was simply stunning and just quite incredible. It is the man who prefers to be known as Butzki! Oh! Yes, yes. Oh, my gosh.
Oh my God, thank you.
Hey, you did so well. You did so well. Oh, there's smoke everywhere. I can't believe it. It's incredible. You ever seen anything like this before? All right.
Thank you so much.
Let's get all our lovely winners together. We're going to do photos. Come over and have it now. I love our photos. I feel like I've forgotten something. The heart, the love. It's I Love Marketing. Make sure you come and see us for I Love Marketing AI tomorrow. It's also going to be in English. We've got some fantastic speakers. Smile. Put on your best faces. Breathe in, gentlemen. Those with dad tums. You know what I'm talking about. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have some individual photos, a little bit of video and all the rest of it. But I guess, Carolina... Oh, I forgot about the jump. I apologize. All right, so on 3, we're going to do a little jump. Don't chuck that, man. Don't chuck that. Right, on 3. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Hey! That was okay. Ladies and gentlemen, one last final round of applause for our winners. They did so well. Awesome. We'll see you tomorrow for I Love AI. You can come and meet our speakers.
Thank you so much.
See you all tomorrow. Do widzenia. Well done.